We've all done at least one of these mistakes that I will showcase for you today in this video. If you're someone who is new to coding and you've just started to write your first Hello World program, or you're someone who is consistently learning programming, then you have to watch this video and avoid these 5 coding mistakes. Relying only on tutorials and online courses. Now don't get me wrong, tutorials and courses are a great way to learn a new programming language, and I think they might be the best way to do so. But they say practice makes perfect. So if you're just opening your laptop, then launching YouTube and start watching a JavaScript tutorial, well, the truth is, you're not going to wake up the next day as a grandmaster in programming and land a high-paying job at a tech company. Tutorials and courses are a great way to build the foundation you need as a beginner, or even as an advanced programmer learning a new language. But if you don't put these skills you acquired to work, then you just wasted time and effort. If you took a 100-hour course on Python and watched every single video of this course, that still doesn't make you a Python developer, because you didn't practice or worked on exercises. What I'm trying to emphasize here is exercise and put your skills to work. Each time you finish learning the fundamentals of a language, quickly solve projects. Don't search for another tutorial or course, instead search for exercises and projects to solve. If you're starting out, definitely go with smaller projects, like find if a number is even or odd. Simple, right? Then build up from there and you'll find yourself building apps and complex projects. This mistake that I'm going to talk about right now is definitely a mistake we all did: memorizing. Programming is not about who knows more, it is about solving a problem utilizing programming languages. Definitely the more languages, functions, methods, and libraries you know, the better. But that doesn't mean if you don't know, then you're doomed. So let us say I'm working on a Python program and suddenly I forgot how to write keyword arguments. All I need to do is search for how to do it, and I'll get the answer I need. I don't need to memorize any functions, any code, or any library to consider myself a great programmer. Even the best programmers out there still use Google to search for terms and functionalities to assist them in their program. Today we have vast amount of resources to use, like for example ChatGPT. I noticed that in my Python project, I'm working with dictionaries, but I don't know all the functions available in this class. So with a single prompt, ChatGPT can list for me all the functions in this class or a specific function that I need. See, why memorizing if you can go search for a term that you need? If you still think that you'll learn everything in tutorials, well, you're kind of wrong. Tutorials are meant to teach you the fundamentals and the rest is up to you. Trying to learn everything. Learning and filling your brain with information is good, but it depends on the type of information you're storing. Is it useful or useless? If you want to become a front-end developer, you won't learn a roadmap that a back-end developer should take. This is totally useless and a waste of time. What is useless about it is learning something you don't need at the present moment, or your career doesn't really need it. You'll end up learning it and forgetting it the next day. If I want to learn Python and decided to learn 137,000 libraries including machine learning libraries and data science libraries in Python, this is completely nuts. I am learning a lot of information where I only need maybe 10%, or I am learning a programming language that I maybe need or not need. A front-end developer doesn't need to learn SQL, or a back-end developer doesn't need to learn SAS. But if they want to for personal knowledge, well, why not? This mistake is quite bad because it will lead you to nowhere, not having a clear goal. Imagine you're just jumping on different tutorials, trying to learn a lot of programming languages, like today you'll learn Python, tomorrow you'll learn C++, then JavaScript, then Java, and so on. What you're doing is learning anything and you'll end up forgetting everything. Why learn a ton of programming languages that you might not need in your career and projects? Set a clear goal and ask yourself, what do you need to learn next to become, let's say, a front-end developer? Do you need Python? Not really. How about JavaScript? Well, definitely then go learn JavaScript. Set a clear goal and know where you want to go, so you don't end up wasting your time and effort on learning a lot of stuff that you might need or not need. Because trust me, you'll end up forgetting half of what you've learned, because what matters is to learn the necessary tools and resources to succeed in what you're doing. The last tip is kind of a mistake that we do, but also a tip that you can apply to start thinking better while coding. Copy pasting without understanding what is going on. If you keep on copy and pasting code from Stack Overflow and not giving the time and effort to read the code and understand it, then you're basically shooting yourself in the foot and missing out on an important opportunity to learn something new. The moment you copy paste code is the right time for you to read and understand it. Debug the code, go over it line by line, and try to understand what's really going on behind the scenes. Actually, this method is one of many ways to start thinking like a programmer. Why? Because this enhances and sharpens your problem-solving skills. That brings us to the end. Please make sure to comment other mistakes that we as programmers do. Now I invite you to watch this video on how to think like a programmer. Or if you want to increase your knowledge, check this video out, where you'll discover what's the true difference between programming and coding, and how we use these terms interchangeably without knowing their difference. So, see you there.